Well, that GoPro is bouncing up and down, but then so is this road. Okay. I forgot my sunglasses, or did I? It's meant to be raining. I've got the raincoat on, and there's some black clouds ahead of me. But let me just check if I bought my sunnies. It'd be quite useful because actually it's gone really bright. Right, let's turn that round. I did not. So, so it's going to be a squinty. If the sun stays out, it's going to be a squinty ride. So I'm having to cycle probably 5 or 6 kilometres. To get to where I want to start this video. So I'll see you when we get there. I can't find the exact spot that I'm looking for. Has to be the exact spot. Ah, here it is. Okay. Oh, they put a behind me here. This rail wasn't here, so I'm not going to be able to do the exact route. What I am going to do is try and get you a bit of a 360. Is that recording? I've got to have a look, guys. It's flashing. It's very dark to see this. Yep, 20 seconds in. So let me explain to you why we're here. My very first video ever that I ever made, and it's long enough ago that it was done on cassette. I think a digital video cassette was made from this road here. And it's still up on YouTube. You can find it if you search for it. You have to be clever because it's very old and it's not on this channel. Anyway, I want to relive it. So we go down here, and I would have gone straight over at this road here, but they've put a railing in there, so we're going to have to find a way to get the bike round. Is there a little drop for the bike? There is, but it's over there. So yeah, this was the very first video I ever made and edited, and from my memory it was all done, it was digital, but it was a digital video cassette, one of the real cassettes. And what I edited on, I have no idea. Back in the days, it's got to be 20 years ago, I would imagine. If you find the video, you can probably tell me the date. So we went through here, and this has changed slightly. I get the camera through, only just. Okay, I remember this. Oh, they've improved it. And we're going to take you out today, out onto the New Forest, a beautiful part of southern England. Absolutely gorgeous, if I can find it. I think this pathway will take us out onto the forest. Let's see. So a little update about Michelle and I. We have been offline for a few months. Some personal problems, not problems really, but personal events. So I wanted to catch up with you and explain. We've got some really amazing planning going on. Ooh, Camera is going to get very close to the bushes here. Ooh, that is tight. Yeah, so exciting things planned. And this steed that I'm sat on now, which you'll be seeing in an unboxing video or a presentation video, is going to feature heavily. Let's try this way. I'm not sure. It's an old van someone's probably doing up for a van life video. So it was forecast to be quite stormy this afternoon and quite cold, so I've got a waterproof on. But actually it's gone really sunny and you can see I'm in full sunlight. I wonder if I can remember the way. So, big exciting plans for the rest of the year. Sorry we've been absent. They're very good reasons, and I think you'll accept that I don't particularly want to talk about it. It's still a little bit raw, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. But we dust yourself off, or dust ourselves off, get back into the saddle, and I have to get used to filming and editing. I just haven't done any for months, and so this is you know, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it tough. Which way out to the forest from here, right? Not sure? Okay, he doesn't know. We'll just assume it's this way. I'm lost. I thought I'd recognise the route. I thought it was a little pathway all the way there, but it's not. And this car has now stopped for me. Thank you. As long as we sort of head in a westerly direction, we'll be fine. So yeah, some complications have got in the way, which means we've been unable to produce anything or really even be online at all over the last few months. So I'm going to kick it off this week by putting as much content up as possible, really just to oil the chains in my mind of how to create content. I hope you've all been well. I hope the regulars will still come on and find me. Hang on, I think I want to go straight over. So I've indicated off, but actually I want to go over. Hope the regulars are still there. And just fill me in on what's been going on. Yeah, we're on the right road here. We're going out onto the New Forest. I'm hoping we're going to see some ponies, donkeys maybe, Shetland ponies. This place is absolutely beautiful. And hence I made my first ever video here. Go and search it. New Forest is definitely the key word that might help you. So up to a big roundabout. See if we can get on. We can slipstream this Hilux. We're on. Out towards Bewley Road Station. Now when I cycled this route many years ago, I had very much an off-road bike. This bike will go off-road, but I'm probably going to keep things a little drier. I'm going to try and recreate some of the journey if I can. Now what can I tell you about the New Forest? If you look out there to my left, you see that cow? That is not a farmer's cow, that is not in a field, that is in the wilderness. And if we get over this cattle grid, ooh, we are now in the New Forest. Just see if everything's, all the brackets have stayed nice and tight. Don't want you guys dropping off. Forestry of England. How beautiful is this place? I want to say names, you all know who you are though. All the regulars. I won't say hello because I'll forget people. Hopefully I'm not too sniffy. The new GoPros, they've dispensed with the 2.7K and told us it's for our own goods. But with the 2.7K, it never used to overheat. So we'll take it. There's some ponies coming up. New Forest ponies. I'd say they belong to nobody, but they kind of belong to the commoners of the New Forest. They're people that have lived here over many tens, if not hundreds of years, generally own or take care of the ponies of the New Forest. And look at them, they're so healthy looking, so beautiful. Hello guys. Oh, they smell lovely, like ponies should smell. And all day long they'll graze. Now in the video, the original video, there's a little off-road section at the top of this road, at the end of this road here. So I'm going to see if it's still there. And I might take you a little off-road. Now I remember it always been quite steep, steeper than it looks. So prepare for some puffing if I decide to go up there. And what else can I tell you about the last few months? Nothing really. We're in the UK, as you can see by the weather. We are planning, I think I can tell you a little bit about the plan. Let me just get up this hill and I'll explain to you. Some of you may have guessed already. I'll just get into a lower gear. See if I can get across this little bit of gorse land. Woo. This is very steep and I'm not really in my lowest gear. I don't like to change gears when the pedals are under pressure. So we'll just power through it. The 360 has dropped down. Woo! Let's change that gear. Oh, that's the gear I should have been in. Let's tighten that 360 camera up again. These things are amazing. Wow. You look up here. Can I use that 360? Get a beautiful panoramic. See all the way across the forest. These old spruce pine trees here. If I can get my breath back. A big thank you to Rick for lending me this 360 to give it a try. I'm loving it, mate. Love it. I hope. But I'm actually, the batteries don't last very long, so I'm actually cabling it up. And I've got a cable running down the stick, which I'm hoping is not overly visible. Right. Now, if I remember rightly, there's a downhill section. Let's have a little look over here. There's one area, it might be better than the others. This lovely common grounds. Ooh. I think you generally see a worn pathway. So I think this is the common route down. Oh, there is a a broader path over there, but I can see quite a few people have come down this section. So it's go nice and easy. No pedalling to be done here. This is all downhill. And the 360 is getting bounced up and down, so it's dropped another few inches. It's a long time since I've been in this forest and seen this beautiful. Now these are got to be careful of the gorse on the tyres, but ooh. Probably get a flat tyre before we even get started. Let's get off of this this horse path and get onto the road again. I don't think it's all wet and boggy there. I don't think we're meant to be here. Well, I don't think we're not meant to be here. But there is no way back onto the road. Whoa, we're going to lose a tyre. The gorse is like sewing pins. Let me just cross over this bit of bog. I don't think I can. Cannot. Not easily anyway. Let's get the bike over there and we'll tread over. Okay. Back on the road. So it's probably it's probably a little too wet in the year to be going off-road. And cold. The sun has definitely gone. So Michelle and I are planning, let me just get around this corner. So I've been working hard on editing the cycling in Taiwan videos, and they're coming together. I'm pretty much ready to launch them, probably this weekend. But it was that cycle that's given us this idea for the next adventure. So what we're planning to do, can I say this, Michelle? I think I can. We're planning to visit the John o' Groats to Land's End ride again, walk, route, but this time by bicycle. So we're thinking of cycling from the bottom of England, the very bottommost point of England, on the southwest coast, John o' Groats, Land's End, sorry, and then cycle all the way across the country. Oh, there's an old London taxi, look. How cool is that? Cycle all the way up to the furthest most northern east point, on the land that is, of John o' Groats. And it's going to happen for sure. We've actually organised, we've invested quite a bit in getting these bikes, and we're setting them up slowly to become what we think is going to be one of the best long distance touring bikes. There's lots of gear we need to get, so if you want to share any ideas, we're going with proper waterproof jackets this time, not the old ponchos that we had. Nothing wrong with those ponchos, you know, $5 ponchos, but this time we want to be a bit more comfortable. We've got an idea that we'll be doing a lot of cooking on the route. So if you have any ideas you want to share with me about cool sort of, what would you call it, bike packing or bike touring food ideas, stuff that doesn't take up too much space and be cooked simply, because we don't want to have the junk food that we had on the last route. When we cycled last time, we did stop and eat a lot of Cornish pasties and junk. Comes somebody on a noisy little motorbike. It's a 4-stroke though, not too bad. So yeah, we're looking for ideas. We've got a few ideas. We learned a lot from that cycling around Taiwan. I think you're going to like it. But what we have learned is that we maybe need to be more creative with the filming. We'll see. The series I'm editing, I think it's about 14 episodes in total. What is that? Ipley Manor or Apley Manor? Some more ponies out there. How pretty. Look at that. Now last time I actually cycled through this because I had an off-road bike. I probably went in one of these little turnings here and went off through the puddles, but I'm not doing it today. Yeah, it would have been in through that way. How gorgeous. How gorgeous is that? Let me just make sure that we've got, let me just make sure the 360 gets it, but just in case the 360 hasn't caught it the way I'd like to. Look at that. That is beautiful. So pretty out here. If you haven't been to Hampshire and the New Forest, if you want to go cycling, there's very few places like it in this country that are as accessible and as beautiful, you know, without going up into the Lake Districts. So pretty. So yeah, we're going to do bike touring food series, maybe talking. We're going to be visiting places. We're on bikes this time, so we have got a little more leeway to move left and right of the country and visit some places. We think it's going to take, well, it'd be similar. It'd be a 200-kilometer bike ride, so maybe 3 weeks. But we're not in a hurry. We're not trying to have a deadline or rush it. And at the end of that, if it goes well, it doesn't stop there. And the reason we've invested so heavily in our own bikes, which you'll see in an episode very shortly, you know, I'll go through this bike, the setup that we've gone for. But the reason we've invested so heavily in this idea is because we really enjoyed cycling around Taiwan. We thought it was amazing, a great experience. It kept us feeling fit, something for the last 3 or 4 months we haven't been able to replicate. We've just been really sat around, not eating so well, eating good food, but just too much rich, unhealthy food. And it's time for us to get back to living. Get back to living. This is so pretty. So the New Forest, if you don't know, I could probably put some information up on the screen about, you know, how big the New Forest is if I have time, because I'm trying to edit and film these videos. If not, just Google the New Forest. It's a vast area of land in the south of England, Hampshire. I think it runs virtually over to the Dorset borders. It might even run into Dorset for all I know. And it's a wildlife and sort of conservation area. So you will see wild ponies, wild donkeys, boar, pigs, Shetland ponies here as well. A lot of deer, badgers, foxes. There's so much to see, let alone the bird life, which is not as apparent. You do see a lot of pheasants. They'll run out in front of you on the street, but the bird life here, because it is a sort of nature reserve, is amazing. So I haven't brought Michelle with me today. Yesterday's video, you saw Michelle. If you didn't, go and check that out. We actually went back to the church where the two of us were married, just to do a little update and say hello to you all. So this is all familiar territory to Michelle and I. The English are starting to get their soft tops, their convertibles out to try and enjoy the 2 months of summer who are about to fall upon us. Good day. Well, I think I'm not going to go much further out onto the forest. I could go for an hour or two in this direction. If I think of anything to say on the ride back, I will do. So let's just turn around here. If I think of anything to say on the ride back, oh, that is so beautiful. Drop some questions in the comments below, and we'll try and do a little Q&A, maybe even a live stream. I'm not sure about live streams at the moment because we haven't got the best or most reliable internet. But yeah, let's have a Q&A soon enough. Now Michelle's not with me, but she's not far from me. And I'm sure she sends her love to you all. Be good. And I'm just going to let the 360 camera trace the route back to that roundabout. You guys can enjoy the ride.
Can you miss what you never have known? Can you ache for a place that was never your home? No misgivings or shame, like a moth to the flame.
Bit sniffy.
To burn up or fizzle alone. Can you know who inhabits your skin?
What you tend to forget is that now I'm into the wind. I didn't realise I had the wind prevailing or behind me. Now we've got the wind in my face, and it's quite hard to pedal. So good choice to turn back. I was hoping to see more ponies out today. This particular section of road is not as frequented as some of the other parts of the forest. So you do find a little less animals. What time is it? It's probably about midday. Going over this amazing little creek again. Now I say this is a creek. In the summertime, this will be completely bone dry. There will maybe a tiny little rivulet that runs through here, hence the little bridge. But technically this is flooded. More so than it normally would be. Ipley Manor. So this side, the sign tells you the name. I'm a little bit dry. Some more cyclists coming down through the forest. They remind me of our friends Chris and Pete. From a distance. Good day. I've got quite a long ride home. Quite a few hills. We are actually going to be wild camping again on this journey. And we've actually decided to upgrade our camping gear all round. Everything's being upgraded to pretty much what we consider to be the best, if not the best equipment available. And that'll obviously be open to debate, you know, as we put it to the test. There's so much gear. This old Rover coming through here, and the police. Probably getting stopped for poaching. You do get a lot of poachers in the forest, by the way. I used to live here, so I know. Don't tell anyone. But the venison is good. Okay, we're back on our little road. So I might go a slightly different route back. Yeah, I think I'm going to go this way towards. Oh no, if I go to Bewley, I've got the big hill. We'll save Bewley for another day. If you know anything about Bewley, it's 4 miles that way. That's 6 kilometres, 6 or 7 kilometres. Absolutely amazing place, but we don't want to do everything in one day. Do we? We'll save Bewley for another day. So if you did manage to find the original video that I made all those years ago, in order to prove it, you'll have to tell me now, before we leave the forest here, what was the name of the tune that I used. I technically got it sort of banned in some countries around the world. Anyway, love to you all. Quick check in the mirrors. Ooh. See you in the next video. Take care. Just nearly home, and look at this. This is so pretty. I should have filmed the whole road, but I was puffing coming up the hill. This is affectionately, well, not affectionately, it's known as Roman Road in this area, and there are loads of Roman roads all over Britain that were originally built by the Romans. Well, that's the story that we're led to believe, and hence they're very straight, and they run quite often between villages or towns. So yeah, this is Roman Road, just on the edge of the New Forest. Good day.
Sometimes you just need to stop searching, stand up and go. Just follow